What is up, everybody? Solomon here. First and foremost, I wanted to give a gigantic thank you to everybody that liked, watched, disliked, commented, shared the video that I posted yesterday. I'm certainly humbled, and I certainly have quite a bit of gratitude for everybody that took the time to watch that video. Moving forward on this platform, I do not plan to be the individual that just posts about news every day. There are certainly people out here that do a way better job than I could ever do at that. I'm going to try to post as much as I possibly can, whether that be daily, whether that be whatever. It's going to be what it is, but there's going to be a caveat with that. If I find something interesting, I will try to post it. If I find something that I think can help people, I will try to post it. If I find something during a deep dive that is potentially mind-boggling, I will post that as well. Today, I did find interesting information, and this leads us back into the rhetoric that we've been given for the past 2 years, 3 years now. This is from the IMF once again. If you were not aware, the IMF is the International Monetary Fund. They are one of the most powerful financial organizations in the entire world. They deal with the SDR. The SDR stands for Special Drawing Right. And there is a basket of special drawing rights that make up pretty much the basket of world reserve currencies that we all deal in, the most powerful fiat-based currencies in the world. This is directly coming from them. We have seen this rhetoric over and over and over again. We are also seeing a rhetoric for a reinvention of the financial system globally. This right here is from August 16th, 2021, so a couple of days ago. From the history books, the Rethinking of the International Monetary System. I'm not going to read this entire thing verbatim. This goes through Bretton Woods, John Maynard Keynes. This goes through New System, New Thinking after the collapse of Bretton Woods. Essentially, it goes from the gold standard being eliminated, the gold standard being eliminated, and then essentially this promissory event that occurs whenever everything is pegged to the US dollar and there's a promise that a dollar is worth a dollar. And kind of some of the issues with fiat-based currency historically and why everything eventually crashes when it's based or pegged to a dollar or whatever your currency is that is not attached to any sort of real value. Now, this right here is very interesting to me because it alludes to quite a bit of things. And I've seen this rhetoric for the past couple of years now. And I will share some of my thoughts on this. It's almost comical to an extent. So at the very end of this paragraph, which is the New System, New Thinking, it talks about the system that we kind of have now and why that is still inefficient. Subsequent experience, especially in the aftermath of the 2008 global financial crisis, showed that even domestic stability may not suffice for stability of the system when it comes to systemically important countries. More recently, countries now regularly discuss with the IMF the external spillovers from their domestic policies. And though they would never be required to alter those policies, provided they are promoting their own domestic stability, this is important right here, they may be encouraged to consider alternative policies if those policies better promote stability of the system as well. They're talking about revamping the system, what the future may hold. Pay attention to the verbiage here and how they're kind of treating the people that are reading this like children, even though we're certainly not children. We understand what is being developed already. What the future may hold. The collapse of the system of fixed exchange rates shook the world in 1971, but monetary systems exist to serve the needs of mankind. And as our societies evolve, so too must our societal systems. The world in 1971 was not what it was in 1944. Just as our world today bears only some resemblance to the realities of 1971. Today, fundamental transformations are accelerating the development, deployment, and adoption of digital money. That sentence is important. Let me read that sentence one more time. Today, fundamental transformations, are accelerating the development, more importantly, the deployment, and most importantly, the adoption of digital money. They are not just talking about something potentially happening. They are not just talking about, let's see how we're going to do this. They are talking about the deployment of digital money, the deployment of blockchain, the deployment of distributed ledger technology, the deployment of central bank digital currencies, certainly the deployment of digital assets that some of us may hold, not financial advice, could a digital transformation of the international monetary system soon be underway? Question mark. Let me ask you a question. If you have an institution like the International Monetary Fund in a blog post or any sort of a verbiage post asking if a digital transformation of the international monetary system could quote unquote soon be underway, do you think that that might be underway soon, or do you think that that probably already is underway? I am going to go with the latter. It's already underway, and I will show you that in a second as well. Regardless of how the system evolves, the bedrock principle is that its stability, or the financial system stability, depends on international monetary cooperation, and that will always remain. Certainly, well, distributed ledger technology and blockchain technology enable interoperability between systems. CBDCs, in my opinion, certainly do and probably will interoperate across some of these high-value, highly liquid corridors. Something like XRP, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, serves a very interesting use case function in these highly illiquid corridors, such as exotic corridors, these third world nations that need tied into a financial system that does not integrate them currently. There's so many use cases for so many different digital assets in there. The financial institutions, the legacy institutions, cannot serve every single freaking solution use case when they haven't been able to do this for hundreds of years. They're expected to be the ones that are going to provide these value propositions and these solutions to the people across the world. It's not going to happen. They're going to be built upon. They're going to certainly be utilizing digital assets that you or I may or may not hold at this point in time. Very interesting. Now, if we take this reinventing Bretton Woods rhetoric, this has been going on for quite a while now. This is Kristalina Georgieva. She is the head of the International Monetary Fund. She was the individual that took place of Christine Lagarde when Christine Lagarde moved to the European Central Bank. This is all the way back in 2020, October 6, 2020. She's talking about the same thing here. She's talking about John Maynard Keynes being, quote-unquote, a hero during some of the darkest and worst times in history, alluding to right during that World War II or right after that World War II period. They talk about a digital transition again. It's the same thing over and over and over again. What's really interesting to me, and this is kind of a keynote to this entire thing here, we see the IMF talking about a digital transformation potentially taking place, right? I have seen so many documents with the Bank for International Settlements, the IMF, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, the Asian Development Bank, all of these powerhouse financial institutions across the world directly having use case trials with XRP. Bank of England is one, for example. So here, this is Ripple's Wells submission right here from 2020 in December. Ripple's on-demand liquidity product, ODL, utilizes XRP as a bridge currency to address inefficiencies in cross-border payments, allowing for dramatic improvements over legacy systems. What do we have in example number C down here? Both the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, have already recognized consumer benefits of ODL, which utilizes XRP. We know that XRP has been trialed. We know that XRP has benefits. We know that these large financial institutions globally, and this is an older document, but this goes back and it ties right into the newer one. They're puppeting to us like we're children, saying, well, this might be happening, whenever they're clearly building a new financial system in parallel with the legacy one. And it's almost comical to me at this point in time. We can see multiple documents, XRP, Bank for International Settlements. We can see World Bank, CBDCs across the board here. If we think that these CBDCs are just going to be built privately and not interoperate with the DeFi and digital asset revolution that has sparked the entire CBDC initiative from the first place, it's completely ignorant, in my opinion. And I think that we all know what we potentially hold here. This, to me, is a quick, straight-to-the-point video. You can look back at rhetoric during the entire beer cold situation, where that quote-unquote new normal verbiage just started in 2020. That's BS completely. New normal started in 2018 and 2019. Did it start with some sort of a viral spread? No. That entire verbiage started with fintech, digital assets, and cryptocurrencies. The IMF, the World Bank. Maybe I'll share some of that stuff with you again here shortly, but all of that verbiage started way beforehand, and it started with the financial revolution. They always say, don't let a good crisis go to waste, and I'm sure that they're certainly not doing that now. Nothing against what's going on. Certainly hope people are staying healthy out there. But I hope people open their eyes and understand what's actually going on behind the scenes, because they're certainly building. They're not implicated that they may be building. They're already building. These things are already being built. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was short, straight, sweet, and to the point. And I will talk to you when I talk to you. Later.